What's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we are staring down the literal mountain of luxury that is the brand new Mercedes-Benz GLS. They call this the S-Class of SUVs, which is a massive claim, considering the S-Class is basically the rolling equivalent of a private jet with a better sound system. But before we dive into the leather and the screens, let's take a quick trip down memory lane to see how we got to this three-row behemoth. Back in 2006, Mercedes looked at the American market and realized we wanted everything bigger, so they gave us the GL class. It was huge, it was boxy, and it was essentially a vault on wheels. Fast forward to 2016, and Mercedes decided to rename it the GLS to officially align it with their flagship sedan. Since then, it has evolved from a rugged family hauler into a technological tour de force that probably has more computing power than the Apollo 11 moon lander.
Now let's talk about the heart of this beast. If you go for the GLS 450, you get a silky smooth 3-liter or 183 cubic inch turbocharged inline-six. Thanks to some recent software wizardry and mild hybrid assistance, it now pumps out 375 horsepower and 500 Newton-meters or 369 pound-feet of torque. The big news here is the speed. It hits 60 miles per hour or 97 kilometers per hour in a blistering 5.4 seconds. That is seriously impressive for a base engine in a vehicle that has its own zip code. But let's be real, if you're buying a vehicle this size, you probably want the V8. The GLS 580 steps things up with a 4-liter or 244 cubic inch twin-turbo engine. This unit is an absolute hammer, generating 530 horsepower and 730 Newton-meters or 538 pound-feet of torque. It's enough to launch this 7,000-pound or 3,175-kilogram cruise ship to 60 miles per hour or 97 kilometers per hour in just 4.6 seconds. Honestly, seeing something this big move that fast feels like watching a skyscraper decide to enter a 100-meter sprint. It defies the laws of physics, and quite frankly, it defies common sense.
Visually, the new GLS is leaning hard into that stealthy, high-end aesthetic. If you've seen the Rocars style builds with the blacked-out chrome and the deep carbon fiber accents, you know exactly what the vibe is here. The new front fascia features the Mercedes star pattern integrated directly into the headlights and the massive grille. It looks like it wants to eat the car in front of it, and given the size, it probably could. The wheels are equally insane, ranging up to 23 inches in diameter. The overall length is 207 inches or 5,250 millimeters, meaning you don't just park this car, you dock it. Step inside and it's a total sensory overload. The dashboard is dominated by the MBUX Super Screen, a glass panel that spans almost the entire width of the cabin. It's like living inside a giant smartphone. You get augmented reality navigation that overlays directions onto a live video feed, which is great for people who can't tell left from right even with a map. The seats offer 8 different massage programs, including a hot stone setting that makes you feel like you're at a 5-star spa in the middle of a traffic jam. The Airmatic air suspension is standard, of course, and it is so soft that you could drive over a literal boulder and not spill a drop of your overpriced latte. It uses sensors to scan the road 1,000 times per second and adjusts the damping before you even hit a bump. For the 2026 model year, they have doubled down on the e-active body control. This is a 48-volt hydraulic system that can control each wheel individually. It allows the car to literally bounce its way out of sand if you get stuck on a beach. But let's be honest, 99% of GLS owners will only use this feature to make the car dance at a red light while flexing on the person in the BMW X7 next to them. It is completely absurd, totally unnecessary, and I absolutely love it. But here is where we need to get a bit cynical. Let's talk about the price. The GLS 450 starts around $90,000, but the GLS 580 starts north of $110,000. By the time you add the executive rear seating package, those massive 23-inch wheels, and the fancy manufacture paint, you're looking at $140,000 or 128,000 euros. For that price, I expect the car to not only drive me home, but also cook me dinner and tell me I'm a great person. And let's talk about the competition. The BMW X7 is sharper to drive, and the new Range Rover is significantly more prestigious. The Mercedes sits in this weird middle ground where it's trying to be everything to everyone. It's like a Swiss Army knife made of solid gold. It's impressive, but do you really need a gold-plated corkscrew? The reliability is another elephant in the room. Mercedes air suspension has historically had a shorter lifespan than a mayfly in a hurricane. Once that 4-year warranty expires, you're essentially one speed bump away from a $5,000 repair bill. And the tech? It's amazing until a software update decides that your climate control should only blow freezing air on your feet during a blizzard because the server in Stuttgart is having a bad day.
So what is the definitive hot take? Is this an engineering breakthrough or just marketing fluff? Honestly, it's a bit of both. Mechanically, squeezing a 5.4-second sprint out of the base straight six is a genuine engineering win. The integration of the 48-volt system makes the drivetrain feel seamless and modern. However, the rest of the car is a monument to excess. The transparent hood feature, which uses cameras to show you what's under the front wheels, is cool for the 3 times a year you might actually climb a curb at the mall, but mostly it's just there to impress your neighbors. In the end, the new Mercedes-Benz GLS is a magnificent piece of kit if you want to feel like the king of the suburbs. It's fast, it's incredibly comfortable, and it has more screens than a Best Buy. But let's be honest, it isn't a breakthrough in the sense that it changes how we think about transportation. It's just the ultimate refinement of the bigger is better philosophy. It's a marketing masterclass wrapped in some of the finest leather on the planet. If you have the cash and you want the world to know you've made it, this is your ride. Just don't expect it to fit in a standard parking space without a 3-point turn and a prayer to the ultrasonic sensors. Thanks for watching, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.